Audio check, 1, 2.
Good afternoon, morning, I'm not sure anymore, but it is the final day and the final few hours of the USPHL's 2022 Winter Showcase. New England Sports Center set the scene. 7 rinks of action went on all weekend long. We sit here on Monday afternoon. You're watching from your office. Your boss doesn't know. Thinks you're listening to maybe some music to keep yourself working hard, but you're sneaking in to watch the Dan K Show because you want to find out those final few all-star squads for the premier side. We got a few more divisions to go, but before that, how about the Twin City Thunder NCDC, Lucas? They go 3-rip on the weekend. They go 3-0. They go undefeated. How good are those Thunder? Kaboom. Don't talk to me yet because you're tweeting. I want you to focus on that. I don't want you to multitask. I want you to single task if that's a thing. But this Twin City Thunder side right now, you got to be looking at them right now thinking this team is the real deal. And this is a guy in Dan Hodge. You know, he's put together an NCDC squad, and not only has he done it the right way, man, he's brought guys up from the premier ranks, put them on this roster. He's got Tampa Bay represented. He's got NOCO represented. He's got guys from all over USPHL Nation. But Dan Hodge, this is just a guy that he builds teams that play well from the net out, and they continue to do it day in and day out. Twin City, real title contenders in the NCDC. That Deneen Cup close by here, just a few steps away, and Twin City might just be a few games away from lifting it. Now I look to my left-hand man, Mike Consigliere, Mon Frere from another mare, the man, the myth, the Lucas Jones. Welcome in. It wouldn't be the Dan K Show if it weren't for Lucas J. How are you feeling the final day of a showcase? We have slept for a total of 10 hours. Josh Boyd has gotten 4.5 minutes of sleep this weekend and is still working hard alongside us here. A great weekend of hockey, Lucas.
It was a great weekend of hockey. We saw, I think, some of the best hockey we've seen all season. I think part of that has to do with, a lot of these teams are really finding kind of finding the way they want to do things, right? They're really settling into their rosters. The lines are coming together, and they're looking ahead. They're looking ahead to all those games in March, your playoffs, your regionals, your nationals. But, man, what a quality of hockey across the board this weekend.
It's been so fun to watch. It's been an incredible experience getting to kind of see all of USPHL Nation come together. In the same building, you get an opportunity to watch teams from San Diego, watch teams from all over the country, Florida, Maine, talking about Michigan. We're talking about other states that Dan knows. I definitely don't only know 5 total states out of the 50 in the U.S.
Of course not.
But there's a lot of them here.
Oh, there's several states represented, Dan.
Still got scouts walking around. I mean, that's when you're burning the midnight oil here. This is the last day of the showcase, battling through. You got Drury University running around here, Lucas. I mean, Drury, this is a team on the up and come. If I'm a skater right now, that might be a place that I'm looking to play the game of hockey, eh?
I mean, there aren't a lot of places that are better than that. And you look at not just the quality of the play on the ice, but the quality of the scouts in attendance, too. I mean,
how about the quality of the broadcasters, like Brett Luthner walking by here?
That's a friendly finger gun right there. He was getting you a sassy finger gun.
He's from
before.
the Hitman. You never know when it's a friendly one or not.
Yeah, no, that is always a little bit of an interesting.
Oh, no, he's coming after you.
I saw him on my tiny monitor right in front. It was still just as terrifying. But, we want to thank, first of all of the broadcasters who were here this weekend. We're releasing All-Stars, and we have been all weekend long. Our All-Stars were here this weekend. Dan, you did an excellent job of scheduling those broadcasters, finding them, and making sure they get taken care of. That's the most important thing.
That's right. At the end of this one, we'll thank them all with our little read-off. But before that, we got to read off All-Star teams. Let's go. New England team. Team New England. Look at the Chicago Cougars. Da Cooks, 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 da Cougars. You know, let's talk about, before you get to this, let's talk about a little bratwurst and a little bit of Deca here, okay? Because what you got to ask me about, okay, you got Coach Dahlman, okay? Coach Dahlman versus a Hurricane. Who you got? Coach Dahlman or the Hurricane? Trick question. The Hurricane's name is Dahlman, okay? Who you got, Lucas?
I mean, I would have to go with probably the two forming an even bigger hurricane when they finally meet up.
Slide in. We got to slide a little closer here. You know, let's talk hockey, okay? You guys come out here. You come from the Windy City, Chi-Town, also known as the Sunshine State. And you come in, you bring that Chicago attitude. You beat a Tampa Bay Junior side that went on to beat the Utah Outliers here. They shut them out. You shut them out. How good of a weekend was it for the Cougs?
Yeah, it was great. You know, we played really good teams out here, so you know, getting to come out here and play, you know, some of the best teams in the league, you know, really shows our guys, right, what the league has in store for us. Hopefully, when we get to nationals, and yeah, it was a great weekend. Can't complain.
I got to talk about the story of Trent Carter. Trent Carter, game-winning goal against his former squad. I got to imagine that was some fun in the locker room the boys were having after that one.
Yeah, so that was, I don't know if you could write it better, right? So he comes down and just does what he does, and it was history, meant to be.
Meant to be. Trent Carter, the former Vegas Thunderbird, goes top shelf score to win it for the Chicago Cougars. You win that battle with the Tampa Bay Juniors, and the story was net minding. Talk about that goaltending you got in that 1-0 win.
Yeah, so they had a lot of chances, they had a lot of shots, and you know, Jack Coleman just stood on his head and kept us in it. And you know, luckily, sometimes you need those games from a goalie, and you can't always, you know, the forwards or D can't always control the game, and sometimes you just need to get lucky and have a hot goalie. And you know, we had one that game, so it was awesome.
Would you say that Coleman was grilling him? Is that what you would say?
Not sure.
Would you say that he put him in the cooler, Coleman?
Hey, you can say whatever you want.
Don't give him that.
Hey, you're the crafty ones with the words here.
Come on, Mr. Show right here. Lucas, you got anything for Coach Dahlman? I mean, I would ask you about your movie creds. We are here with a movie star, Mr. Emilio Estevez. This guy's been in the Mighty Ducks. This guy was in the Trash Guys. Is that what it's called? Trash Men? Mm-hmm. We try to make references. I don't know as many Emilio movies. You know, I know I'm not as good with the Emilio movies. What other movies were you in?
Google me.
Google me. I don't put
He's
in
not
that.
going to do
Hold
your
on.
work for
I
you.
don't do research, okay? I don't do research. I go into interviews blind, and then we just see what happens, and that's what makes the Dane K Show the best gong show in hockey.
I agree.
I actually do have a question that I've researched previously.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be boring.
Because I was on the Cougars Tampa Bay Juniors game, and I wanted to know. Let me just mute him real quick so you can't hear the snoring. My question was: so you guys, you have a large team. You play really physically, right? This division known for being very physical. You go up against a team like the Juniors, who showed off their speed against Utah today. Your guys, it seemed like, switched almost on a dime from being very physical, trying to keep the zone closed, to just meeting the Juniors, trying to get faster than them. You know, do you think this team has a mentality like physical or fast, or is that something that we should be looking forward to, your ability to just match any opponent?
Yeah, I think that's one of our strong points is, you know, we have guys that, you know, we obviously want to play physical, right? I think that's a big part of our game, but we have guys that can skate. So we want to control the pace, we want to control the style of game, but sometimes you don't always get that choice. So it's nice to be able to have guys that can skate, that can make plays, that we can just switch to, oh, you want to skate fast? Okay, we can do that too. You want to grind it out? Perfect. That's what we want to do. So having guys that are versatile and can, you know, just kind of switch the way they play, you know, and be that focused and that willing to change their game is a huge asset to us, and, you know, a great thing that we have moving forward.
Now, you guys, in Chicago, the sights are always set on nationals, right? From here, this point forward, I always talk about the quarter poles in a junior hockey season, right? There's the first game of the year, there's the team you are after Halloween, the team you are if you ate your turkey on Thanksgiving, and then the team you are here. This is now the point. This is now playoff point. You're starting to prepare. What do the guys need to get done from today through the end of this season to be prepared to make that run to nationals again?
I think we just got to keep the mindset that we had here, right? We got to stay hungry. You know, we just got to keep working, get more consistent, but And we're not always going to score 5 goals a game,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes we're going to have to, right, win a game 1-0 and rely on goaltending and rely on our defense and just kind of, hold on. And you're not always going to have your offensive abilities. The stars aren't always going to show up. So being able to be deep and being able to just work and grind out those close games is what's going to happen moving forward, right? In playoffs, nationals, those games are close, and we just got to get used to that.
I got 2 non-hockey questions for you.
Perfect.
All right, number one, we went to John Schwartz's house, okay? Guy puts the VR thing on, the virtual reality.
Yep.
Did you get to the end of that post? Did you go to the top of the skyscraper and you got to the end of the post?
Even if I didn't, I'm not going to tell you I didn't.
No way.
Of course
I'm standing in a living room. If anyone's not put the Oculus on, John Schwartz put the Oculus on me, okay? And he's sitting there having a big old laugh while I was afraid to walk my way through. I will say I went a couple under par on the golf course there. I'm a bit of a scratch golfer when it's fake.
Well, yeah, and when it's on easy mode.
It was on pretty easy. Right? Johnny Schwartz took care of me there. But last question for you. This has to go. We were arguing on a broadcast earlier today, okay?
You guys never.
Lucas makes everything boring, okay? He makes everything boring.
I disagree, but hey, that's opinion.
He can even make fun boring. He can make games boring. So we were arguing about when you play Monopoly,
Okay.
when you land on free parking,
Yep.
what happens?
Don't you get the money?
Yeah, you get the money.
No, there's no money on free parking.
Lucas plays
You get like
Monopoly.
$500.
Yeah, $500 in a. Come on.
No.
Lucas goes, when you go to the parking lot, do you get paid money just for parking your car?
Maybe.
No.
Maybe. Everyone would like parking more in
would
the
you
city
rather
if
go
you
to
got
jail?
money. Yeah, seriously.
Well, those aren't the only 2 options. There's a lot of other spaces on the board.
Coach, free parking, you land on free parking, what happens? What do? You're playing Monopoly. Coach Educati, come on, baby.
No,
Come
but
on.
he said he has no idea, but when you land on free parking,
you gotta
nothing
have an answer
happens.
there.
Give me some
that's
other
a soft
options.
take.
So here's the thing. Here's the way I play Monopoly is every time you land on a property space, if you don't buy it, it immediately has to be auctioned, right? So free parking is the only space where nothing happens. You get a break.
Who taught you the rules?
Yeah,
Those are
right?
the rules in
Come
the
on.
book.
No,
What did
okay,
you
first of
learn
all,
Monopoly
nobody
from a
reads the book.
lawyer? Like a
To be
constitutional
fair,
lawyer?
I am still using a Monopoly game from like 1960, so
This is, my apologies to constitutional lawyers everywhere, by the way. And Joey
I've never
Fatone.
heard that. What happens when you land on go?
you get $200.
Okay.
Technically, when you pass go, you get 200,
No.
not when you land on.
The way
You have to go
Lucas
past it.
plays is we just roll the dice and we just go around the board and he gives us a tour of whatever town we landed on. And he just goes, did you know this fun fact about Boardwalk? No one wants to play that version of Monopoly. This is why people won't play board games with you.
So at practice, I ask the guys
Okay.
between drills all the time after we get done skating because we do a lot of that.
You should do it. I mean, you are a hockey player.
Yeah, it's debatable, but anyway. I would like a fun fact from each of you.
Fun fact from each of us. Okay. My fun fact. When I was 17 years old, this is one that I use.
So last year?
I broke a Guinness. I wish. I broke a Guinness World Record. Did
Really?
you know that? Yeah,
I didn't.
did. Yeah, I broke a Guinness World Record. So there was a world record at the time for the longest talk show ever hosted. For 37 hours and 17 minutes, without sleeping, without leaving the air, I hosted a talk show at my high school public access station, and we broke a Guinness World Record. You want to know the best part about it?
It's still there.
2 weeks later, it was broken by a man in Poland on the Polish news when he went for 50 hours and just spiked on top of me and did it before the book was published, so I never made the book.
Well, I know what we can do this summer then.
Re-break the record.
Re-break it.
We got to I think it's at like 80 hours now. Al Roker did it on the Weather Channel.
Okay, you can beat Al Roker.
I can take a beat up Al Roker. If we drop the gloves, Al Roker's going down.
So that could be on the show.
Let's go. We're bringing Al Roker in. Lucas, your fun fact.
So my fun fact, as I think we need to start spreading this word a little bit more, is that the New England Sports Center is haunted.
Ooh, this is fun.
And this is a fun fact because where you're all standing in the live crowd right
Literally
now
right
is
there.
where we recorded a podcast with Dan Hodge, head coach of the Twin City Thunder NCDC team. And on that recording, there is a spooky yelling sound that because our microphones are directional, we picked up moving only a few inches from the microphone from right to left. It happens once, and then you hear it move, and it happens again. And it was in an empty New England Sports Center, much like it is right now. So this place is absolutely haunted with something. Maybe it's just someone yelling.
Maybe that's why the Zam doors get rolled.
Maybe that's why the Zam doors always get messed up.
I heard some people out there said that's probably me. It wasn't me. Not this time. I have a fun fact.
Go ahead. What's your fun
What do you call a group of porcupines?
Oh, I know this. Is it a
I don't-
quill?
It's a prickle.
It's a prickle.
Prickle of porcupines.
Do you know what you call a group of crows?
Murder.
A murder. Isn't that pretty cool?
Are you guys both watching the same animal fact shows?
Oh, I feel like we might be brothers, man. I feel like this might be the
I have a
thing.
lot of useless facts.
I watch a lot of Planet Earth. Like I just when I'm like hanging out, you know what I mean? You just kick back, you grab a cup of coffee, and you watch like a lion chasing down a gazelle. Like that's like how you get ready to go.
Yeah.
That's how when I'm playing days, man. You used to get ready to go. You used to sit there. You used to be like, I want to be like that lion. But then I'd always want to be more like the gazelle.
It happens.
It's tough.
You can't win them all.
You can't win them all, but you know who can? The Chicago Cougars, Coach Dahlman. You got to get with your boys. You got to take them out.
Thanks, guys.
Let's play them off. Let's play them off. Ready? Lucas. Cooks. Dicka. Bratwurst. Chicago Cougars hockey, eh?
I mean, they had themselves a great weekend. They made the trip out here fun for us, fun for them. They grabbed some wins. Now they get to go home with a good feeling.
Safe trip home, safe voyages. Go have a deep dish pizza and way too much sausage on us. Well, not on us. I don't have that in the budget. I've absolutely spent my budget on this weekend, Lucas.
Yeah, no more deep dish for us. But now we get to bring it back here towards some other great players, some other great content, some all-stars in the New England division. Danny, you ready?
Yes, let's go. To the folks at home, we start with 3 Northern Cyclones. Jackson Tillinghast with 40 points coming into this weekend. Travis Marchant, who sings the songs of goal scoring. And Jordan Galtieri. These 3 are stellar. Next up, 2 South Shore Kings, left winger Emile Trottier and right winger Matthew Haymaker, who's throwing haymakers in the back of the net all season long. Following him, right winger from the Boston Junior Bruins, Tyler Boris with 31 points. Next up, this guy from the Bridgewater Junior Bandits. It's no day at the beach when you got to deal with Jackson, and that is Jackson Beach, 24 points on the year. How about Cameron Martin? It's Lights Cameron Martin from the Boston Advantage. He's got the advantage out there. Tyler Wilson, the centerman from the Springfield Picks, making the squad. Johnny Hurd, have you heard the word? Well, the bird ain't the word, it's Johnny. Go, Johnny, go, 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 of the Islanders Hockey Club Premier, making our New England squad. Next up, Devin Rorich. Rorich from the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. He's joined by his teammate Tyson Springer, who's Mike Tyson. Tough, throwing the punches there. Next up, the Twin City Thunder's Gavin Samopoulos making the All-Star squad. Congratulations to Gavin. Defenseman. Have gotten the Newsma, Lucas? Have you heard the Newsma? It's Andrew Newsma, joined by his D partner Hunter Meyer, hunting for goals in the back of the net. He had 2 this year, 26 points on the year. He's an assist-getting machine. Next up, saved by the bell. How about Zach Bell of the South Shore Kings? It's all right, because I'm saved by the bell. We're going to start the game walking through here. Mr. Blake Mons, he just stopped another shot right now. Throw anything at Blake Mons, he'll stop it. Go, everybody. Next up on the defense, please do not throw things at Blake Mons. He is just a human. We do not want to throw anything at Blake Mons. Next up, Owen Johnston, Boston Junior Bruins. Alex Hoyt of the Bridgewater Junior Bandits. And finally, Nick Foster, Australian for great defenseman. He's going to be the last one. Our 3 goaltenders. How about a guy who battles back from shoulder injuries, from troubles? Goaltender Tripp Clark of the Northern Cyclones, 8 wins on the year for him. He's unbeaten coming into the weekend. 9.35 saves percentage, a 1.37 goals against. Conrad Kausch of the Bridgewater Junior Bandits, and Max, take it to the Max. Macchione, your final netminder from South Shore. Lucas, your thoughts before we move on to our next team, because we got to get in the road.
Well, I think this is a great team that was put together. I think there's a lot of talent. I mean, obviously, this division has a ton of teams that made their impact felt this weekend. They're going to be competitive through the end of the season. I mean, it's so tough to put these squads together, but I think that this is a really, really good representation of what the New England division has to offer.
Yeah, man, this group right now, you talk about Newsma, Hoyt, Tillinghast, Marchant, Trottier, Haymaker, Jackson Beach, man, from the Bridgewater Junior Bandits. Just how good have the Bandits been this year. This is a team that doesn't quit. Trip Clark, the story, the comeback story. The guy comes back from injury. What a job by him. Max Macchione, take it to the max. Lucas, can you go find Blake Mons, see if he's back there real quick for a picture so we could send it to the guys at EJP?
I could do that.
Because he looks good in a hat. I feel like that would be a great look for that. You know what I mean? You always get a chance. Where is Blake Mons? Where in the world is goaltender Blake Mons? I'm going to now throw up on the screen your Florida All-Stars. Let's talk about the Division of Florida. Who did Dan Kay and Lucas Jones believe to be the Florida All-Stars? We scroll to it. Dan Kay gets a producer credit for being able to move that little toggle. We start at the forwards. This is an easy 3 right here. Torrin Haddon Harris of the Florida Eels. He'll be joined by Damon Kiwasu. I call him the Carl Hagelin of Florida. And Cameron Croteau. Lights, Cam Croteau. 28 points on the year for him. 2 more junior blades on the squad, Brett Beal and Cole Kitola, joined by a man who scored a huge goal today for his Tampa Bay Juniors in a 3-0 win over the Utah Outliers, Connor Nelson. Ben Baker baking up goal-scoring opportunities from the Atlanta Mad Hatters. He gets 24 points. Vesey Lampin, lighting the Lampin. Congratulations to Vesey Lampin, not just an all-star from the Palm Beach Typhoon, who's on the road right now on a 24-hour drive back to Palm Beach, Florida in the bus. He's not going on the bus. He's staying here. Vesey Lampin moved up to the NCDC. He will join the Northern Cyclones this week. A chance for the Finland product to finish more goals at the next level. Next up, Bo Cornea. Bo had the game-winning goal in the 3-0 victory today for Tampa Bay. He's got 34 points coming into the weekend, added another one in this one. This is one of the toughest guys in hockey. Jonah Mortensen and Judd Ginther. Jerry Ginther, driving pucks into the back of the net. He's joined by Colin Patterson and Adam Gaudette of the Florida Eels. Finally, you had John Brace, the final forward from the Palm Beach Typhoon. Those are your forwards. The defensemen. We look up to the top here. Dan Kay scrolls through his list, and Owen Larson of the Atlanta Mad Hatters makes the squad with 16 points on the year, 17 coming into the weekend. Ethan Tamborski, the Tambourine Man, driving it home for the Palm Beach Typhoon. Jerome Pagrum and Trevor Voida on your next D pair. And finally, 2 more Tampa Bay juniors, John Heller and Parker Chadwell. Free Parker, the man who started that monopoly argument that we started the show with. Your netminders, 2 Florida Eels make the squad in Duncan Rollman and Alexander Caron. Finally, last but certainly not least, coming off of a shutout win over the top Utah Outliers squad, it's Blake Mons. Who's the Mons? Blake is. He makes the all-star squad for Team Florida. Let's look through this thing a little bit as Lucas makes the way back. Did you find him? No. Oh, Blake Mons. Paging Blake Mons. Where in the world is Blake Mons? You tried. You did your best.
I did text Coach Garrett Strout and told him
asked him for a picture?
If he's still in the building, send him up.
Or just get a picture. He just made the all-star team. He's not even here to find out. There go the Utica Junior Comets. The boys are heading back out. They've had it's been a long weekend. We're all tired now. We're at the end of the showcase, Lucas. We got the Florida team out. Let's get to the next one. Let's move on. What are we going to next? What do we need? We got 2 more to go.
Midwest West up right now.
Midwest West. And then after that, is that Southeast? We've already done. Let's save the Southeast for the Dan K show. Let's do the Midwest West.
Oh, you're really going to save the Southeast for the show?
Yep.
Making them wait.
No, we'll do it today. We can do it today. Fine, we'll do it today. Lucas. Midwest West. All right, in the Midwest West, we start with our forwards on the Dells Ducks. This has been their go-to guy all year. 46 points entering the weekend. Caden Glamkowski, glamorous goal scorer there. How about life? It ain't rough if you're Michael Clough. Clough on the Minnesota Blue Ox with 47 points, joined by Hayden Maslowski and Blake Glazer. 3 Blue Ox stars there. 2 River Kings joining the squad on the forward realm. It's Jeffrey Redmond, one of my favorite skaters in the game, and Benjamin Pizzamenti. Next up from the Hudson Havoc, let the Doves go, release them. It's Harvey Dove, one of the best names in hockey. He's joined by the Mullets, Jack Siemens, and the Moose with 2 stars, Cameron Dunn and Chase Solberg, the Soul Man, on the squad. Next up, NASCAR Fast from the Rum River Mallards with 31 points. It's Jared Petty. He's joined by Steele County Blades left winger Connor Mo Valley. Mo Valley scoring more goals than a mountain. Ain't no Mo Valley high enough to stop him from scoring the goal. Valleys are not high. I read the wrong lyric. Next up, Cooper Brodzinski. Cooper, the Cooper man. Coop from the Rum River Mallards. He's got 32 points on the year. The defenseman, the gunner, Cale Gunner of the Minnesota Blue Ox, joined by Carter Hobbs. These guys are on a documentary that I would like to be on. Hopefully this is going to make the cut. Next up, Jordan Steer of the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings. He's joined by Evan Eisenstark of the Hudson Havoc with 15 points. The Mooses, Logan Lake, and Evan Axel, finally, of the Steele County Blades, round out your defense. Axel is stellar, the Axeman. The three goaltenders, Riley Allen of the Wisconsin Rapids River Kings, 10 wins, 929 goals. 929 goals against would not be good. 929 saves percentage and a 196 goals against average, joined by Kenny Torelli of the Hudson Havoc and Josh Kozel of the Minnesota Mullets. Yet again, a Minnesota Mullets goaltender making an all-star team. The stat I have on him, in 12 games, 494 shots faced. He's got a 307 goals against.
Well, that is an absolutely incredible amount of shots. I mean, you are working hard when you are facing that many shots game in, game out, but it sort of creates.
Shoes. Go with the boat shoes today. You know, it's pretty cold for those. It is pretty cold for those today. Oh no. Smart move. Then that's smart. Safety first.
Scratch everything from the record we just said.
It's just cold. It's cold for the no socks. I would freeze to death out there. It's very cold. He is a Midwest guy.
Well, I was going to say, you know what else is going to be cold? When we travel out to this Midwest division for the outdoor game and that big weekend coming up.
We're giving out an
fun.
axe. We made a 6-foot tall, well, we didn't make it. Jay Whittem made a 6-foot tall axe, and the winner of the Moose and the Blue Ox, when we go out there, is going to get the Paul Bunyan axe. I am going to be handed that sharp implement, and hopefully I will safely it's 6 feet tall.
It is.
It's 6 feet tall. It is the size of, it's almost the size of me. It's awesome.
It is. It's going to be
cool.
a lot of fun. We've got an outdoor game as well, and we're going to get to see some of these skaters on that trip. I'm sure we're going to see a number of these guys as well as we get into the playoffs, getting into nationals. There is a lot of talent here. I like the inclusion of Jared Petty from Rum River. I also really like the inclusion of Harvey Dove from Hudson. These are two guys that I think you should really be looking at, really be focusing on if you're covering or looking at the Midwest West.
Last team, then we got to start packing up because I got to drive all the way to Florida.
Are you ready?
Team Southeast, go. There it is. I'm letting it breathe, letting the moment breathe there for a second. I did have a hiccup. I apologize. Next up, forward from the Charlotte Rush. I almost said forward from the Drew Iannucci's. That would not be how you do that.
That would be an incredible team.
Drew Iannucci, Jacob Wilson, Jensen Lopez, and the human drum roll, Ethan DeMumbrum, all make it from the Charlotte Rush. Next up from the Carolina Junior Canes, how about Daniel The Time Is Now and Ethan Hopp? Callan Daly, Mark Padgett, Shane Adler, all from the Hampton Roads Whalers make the squad. The Richmond Generals with 3 of their own, Brendan Yingling, Carter Jordan, and Garrett McCabe. Finally, we look down to the bottom of this one. We get 2 Potomac Patriots and Valerie Neeb and Marcus Jallo. I just love the way Jallo plays. This is a highlighter player for me. I've written about his skills before. If I'm looking for a guy that's kind of that grinded-out guy who's in need of a commitment right now, I'm going to the Potomac Patriots. I'm calling up Coach Josh Gratton, and I'm getting Marcus Jallo because he just battles in front of the net, man, this young man. He's like the Energizer Bunny. Never gives in, never loses that energy.
Yeah, I mean, really. And this Potomac Patriots team, what a team they put together this year. Certainly they've earned their spots and they've earned their place in the Southeast Division.
Next up, the defensemen Tyler Fitro and Florian Zajic from the Carolina Junior Canes. How about the Hampton Roads Whalers with 2 of their own, Connor Carlisle and Wyatt Allen. Next up, Drake Semrad of the Richmond Generals, and closing it out, Joshua Kingsbury with 19 assists for the Potomac Patriots. Your netminders. This is a tough one to pick in the Southeast. There are a lot of stellar ones. First, with a 1.76 goals against and a 9.46 saves percentage entering the weekend, it's Nick Anderson of the Charlotte Rush. That's ridiculous. Nicholas Sepinen, who we've seen go shutty twice this year with the Carolina Junior Canes, while on the call, does his best. And Kenny Vaught of the Hampton Roads Whalers, who is undefeated entering this weekend, rounds it out. Lucas, your thoughts before we close things out and get in the car?
I think the biggest thing to look at this Southeast Division is how good this division is from top to bottom. You even hesitate to say top to bottom because it doesn't feel like there is.
There is
You're
not a bottom.
always moving around. You're seeing teams battling, splitting weekends, occasionally getting those sweeps. And I think the biggest thing here to focus on are these three netminders, Anderson from the Rush, Sepinen from the Junior Canes, Vaught from the Whalers. Because these three might be the difference makers. These three might be the ones to differentiate the teams that are going to go to nationals versus not. Because in the Southeast, everyone always focuses on the speed, right, and the offense. And sometimes that showboating, that showmanship that is well earned. But the net minding is so consistently good because it's forged in the fire of the Southeast. So when you travel, that net minding can really frustrate teams.
That's exactly how you do it. Lucas, those are your all-star teams. We'll be posting them on social media. But for now, we got to get in the car. I got to drop. We're getting Josh Boyd to his rental. We're getting Lucas Jones to Jersey. And then Dan Kay's just going to continue his caravan down to Florida with the clubs in the back of the car, ready to go play some golf before he goes to negative 20-degree temperatures in Minnesota. Lucas, your parting words.
Normally I don't have them, but
Okay.
I feel like at the end of the Winter Showcase, I feel like there are
Sum it
some
up.
parting words here.
Sum it up.
There was a huge effort on the part of a lot of people to make the Winter Showcase the best it could be and the highlight showcase of the year. There's a great events that teams put on, but this was one that we really took to heart and one that we really wanted to succeed with. And I think it was successful, and I think it was evident that it was successful. You had all the games were broadcast, Elite, Premier, and NCDC. Every game had a broadcaster assigned to it.
They told me it couldn't be done.
And the people who say it can't be done are the ones that don't want to try. That is a mantra that will be probably posted on my wall when I get home as a reminder that it is always worth it to try because you can succeed. We succeeded this weekend, and thank you so much to everyone who was a part of it, the teams that braved the storm to come into Massachusetts, the teams that were flexible and helped those teams keep their games, move their game times, the staff from Hockey TV, the staff that was here, the players themselves who put on a show
These
for
guys,
everyone in attendance.
Just a bunch of beauty.
Without these
the
players,
Chicago
man,
Cougars,
there is not much for the rest of us to do. So we'd like to thank everybody who was a part of the Winter Showcase. It was truly fantastic.
Thank you all for everything. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about all of our broadcasters and everyone that helped out throughout the event as we go. Now I got to get some sleep. The Cougars got to get some sleep too. We're all tired. We're a little tuckered out. We've worked really hard. We thank you all for everything. We thank the whole USPHL nation. We thank every fan watching. We thank some of the folks reaching out with great emails and support all weekend long. And, at the close, look at these guys. Look at the boys. There he is. There's Blake Bonds. We need Blake Bonds. All-star Blake Bonds just made the Florida All-Star team. We got to get a picture.
Come back.
We need a picture.
Come back.
He keeps walking away. Oh, it's not Blake Bonds. I saw the hat. You had the hood up. Trent Carter. Come on, Trent. We saw before. We saw Blake Mons walk away, and I thought that Blake Mons was coming back with a different hoodie on. Oh, Trent. Trent did beat the Vegas Thunderbirds, former squad. You want to talk about the storyline of the weekend? How about going top shelf, homie, against your former squad?
That's pretty incredible. It was a fun game to watch, and just giving us storylines. You gave us content to talk about.
Hey,
otherwise,
boys,
we wouldn't be able to talk about anything.
Next time I see you, I want to have that thing in my hands, okay? Let's go. Get back to Chicago. Go back to the Windy City. And the next time I see the Cougs, I better have that in my hand. Let's go. Roll Cougs. The boys are going on the road. I'm going to get on the road now. But as we close out here, it's moments like that, right? It's moments like all of this around the rink, and it shows you that this game of hockey is a family sport, and just our hearts go out to the tragedy this weekend, this past week that occurred. We just, thoughts and prayers and heart goes out, man. And we close this out. We tell you all, we hope you're happy and healthy at home around USPHL Nation. Stay safe, stay strong, and let's keep battling through the hockey season. For Lucas Jones, I'm Dan Kay. Thank you to Elite Junior Profiles for presenting this show all weekend long. Thank you to Vaselli Salt. Sprinkle it on your food. Thank you to Remastered Sleep. Thank you to everybody who supports the Dan K Show. When Dan K is on the mic, it is always hockey night, even if it's a Monday afternoon.